Welcome to the Real Triathlon Podcast. I'm your host, Garrick Lowen, here with Nicholas Chase and Jackson Laundry.
Hey, we've got winners on board. Look at that. Look at that with Lisa and Mark, who just they won the most iconic, longest lasting, awesome half or Olympic distance race in the United States. St. Anthony's Triathlon. What are they, over 40 years now or something?
Yeah, it was the 41st year.
Insane. So ladies first, Lisa, we would love to hear some of the ups, downs, trials, tribulations, and effectively what led you to the winner's seat.
Wow, man. Well, first of all, the race was shortened the day before. The swim was cut in half to like a 750-meter swim. And then everything else was the same, but it was due to the wind and the waves. But on race day morning, it really wasn't that bad or that choppy.
Well, so to be fair, I lived there for like 9 years and it doesn't seem bad or choppy on the beach. And then when you get over to the seawall, sometimes the reverberation is really why they end up canceling it for seemingly sometimes no reason.
Yeah, and that's what it was. It didn't look choppy until you got to the seawall. Then it looked like a little bit better.
And it's still not that bad.
No, it still wasn't like it wasn't, but we could have easily had the whole 1,500-meter swim, but instead we swam probably like 650 meters because I'm pretty sure it was short.
6.5 minute swim.
Yeah, yours is 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just dolphin dived a lot.
No, the total time from gun to the timing mat was 6.5 minutes. So we swam less than that because we ran for 150 to 200 meters, exiting the water.
Which was, I didn't know what to do. I started dolphin diving and then I'm like, I don't think this is the most productive with my time. Then I started skipping and then I tried running and I'm like, all of this is making me really tired.
You should have danced. You really have those muscle fibers and muscle memory would just kick in.
Yeah, fast twitch dance moves.
Just freaking moonwalking to the end of the swim.
Wouldn't it make sense though for, I know that race organizers are in a tight spot in those situations where they're like, we've got this pro athlete regiment here who clearly is fine to handle whatever we throw at them. But we got all these age group athletes. And if they see the pros do the whole course, all they're going to do is complain. And we can't just say, well, they're pros. So I think that's a tough spot to be in. But I do wish race organizers could say this is a cutoff for pros. This is a cutoff for age group athletes. Because honestly, you all could have handled that.
Right. But for me, I think on the day, it definitely was in my favor to have a shortened swim. Because yet again, the distance or my deficit to the lead is going to be shorter or smaller with a shortened swim than it would be with a full swim. So that's to my advantage. And Mark's probably to his disadvantage, I would say, maybe.
I mean, I was obviously upset. I was really happy with how strong the front group was, and I wanted that gap to Jason West to be as big as possible. And it ended up only being, I think, 7 or so seconds, maybe just around 10 seconds. So yeah, he was right on us. And Chase exiting the water, he kind of took a different line. We went shallower before he started to run. So that was also a really nice tactical move, which you can do when you have these long exits of swim. So he was able to get to the shallower water and start doing those high knees. But continue on with your recap. Sorry, let's not take too many tangents.
I like the tangents. Keep them coming.
I like the tangents too, but I'm excited to hear you just absolutely obliterate this bike course, because I sent you a Strava a screenshot I posted on Instagram of the fastest times of the day, and it wasn't even because of me. It wasn't because I was a KOM for the day. It was all because of you. You were the 6th fastest of the day or something, of the whole day.
That's awesome.
It was just like a minute segment of some sort. But anyway,
it was a minute segment, but she averaged 29-ish miles an hour and was faster than all the guys, pretty much.
Well done, Lisa.
But I don't know, the women's swim, I feel so we all were together. Victoria she ended up I think the timing flip was a minute. She got a minute on us. So I'm like,
oh my gosh, she's so good.
Yeah, she just flew. But the rest of us were just in a big washing machine the whole time. But I actually, it wasn't that, it wasn't getting hit that much, which was nice. And I was just, in my head, I said, I don't think I'm strong enough to go around you people. So I'm just going to stay here. And what really advantage is it going to give me to be 3 seconds ahead of the whole group. So I just kind of like just stayed where I was, came out with basically everybody. And the run to transition was probably like half a mile, a little over half mile.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
a long way. Did you opt for shoes? I forgot what you said.
no, I didn't wear shoes, but we had talked about when we were walking to transition, Mark and I had discussed like maybe we'll like run on the grass a little bit to like be easier on the feet, but we couldn't do that because like it was lined with people, which was awesome. But that part went by so fast, and there were some like shuffling of places when we got in there. Got into transition, had a pretty good T1 until I was running out with my bike on this little like there's like a little section that before the mountain line, you're on the sidewalk, and I was running with my bike like hit something and then it fell, and then I like freaking drove my leg into my bike. Have a nice couple contusions and bruises from that.
Contusions.
Yeah, like
Seems a bit aggressive.
the side of my knee is like swollen.
So you gave yourself just a good old fashioned dead leg, but you did it to yourself.
Yeah, I did it to
Or
myself.
your bike did it. But then the bike was nice to you the rest of the time.
Yeah, then I got on the bike and there was a ton of us around. I don't know, there was probably like 15 girls around me at that point. We're all getting on our bikes at the same time. Finally got in my shoes across like the cobblestone area. And I just said, I was like, I gotta sayonara these ladies, like now. So once I got in my shoes, I was just like, okay, let's just send it. So I just started riding really hard. My mentality going into the bike was to just ride basically as hard as I can, because I had run like 5 times since Oceanside because I had a super like upset calf. And even like a week out from the race, I tried to do an hour run and I cut it at 45 minutes because my calf was hurting. So then I didn't run for 4 or 5 days. I did a 14-minute run and a 20-minute run while I was in St. Pete. And yeah, so I was like, I just need to get as much time on the bike as possible. There's a really awesome out and back section that goes basically through downtown on like Central Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first time it's a direct like out and back. So that's the first time you get a look at everybody.
The first look. Is that when the dad looks at his daughter? The first look. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Mark,
like at a wedding?
Yeah, Mark.
What's that called, Lisa?
It is
First look, but it's when the husband looks at the wife.
No. It's when the dad looks at the daughter.
no.
Yes.
No, I don't think
I think so. All right, listeners, all
Mark,
25. His sister got married.
I've gone through a wedding procedure, and the first look was like the first time.
Okay, maybe there's 2 first looks.
Okay.
Okay, anyways, tangent.
Can't wait till your wedding, Mark.
I won't be doing the first look.
Yeah. Anyways.
The second first look.
The second first look. But yeah, on the out back section, I saw that I still had 30 people in front of me: Victoria Lopez, Kate Cron, and Val Bartholomew. Is that how you say her last name?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So those 3 were still in front of me at the turnaround, and it was a tailwind on the way out, and then you had a nice little headwind on the way back. And in a headwind section, like the more power you push, basically like the more fast you're gonna go. Where in like I don't know, at least the tail.
What? Wait.
How it works?
Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. If you put out more power, you will go faster.
Well, in comparison to like a tailwind, because once you're going over like 30 miles an hour or something, it like doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, the return is not as much. You're very correct.
Yeah. So, and then I just said, I was like, I just got to go catch them as fast as I can. And I think I caught them. I don't know. We made the turn onto whatever.
Hard right turn onto like MLK.
Yeah, one of those. And then shortly after a couple turns, I caught and passed both of them. And it was all 3 of them. And Kate and Victoria were super close to each other. And I just said, I don't want to give them any opportunity to try to like hop on my wheels. I'm just going to ride really hard. And I did that. And I was really disciplined because I didn't want to look back and be like, oh, are they still there? I just said like, be in the zone and just go. I looked when you do a loop around the golf course, which is nice, but also like I never know when the turns are coming.
And the speed bumps.
And the speed bumps. Kind of keeping it heads up. But yeah, I just kept riding hard through there. And then you take a right on MLK. And that's when I actually caught the first pro guy, or the last pro guy.
Oh man, tough day.
Yeah.
So I caught him, passed him, and then he'd do a nice out and back on
Nose point.
That's my favorite.
me too, because it's like a great pavement.
Great pavement. And then again, you have that tailwind into a headwind.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then you get your other look at who's by you.
The
And
second
so-
look.
The
The
second
husband's look.
Yes. Continue, Lisa.
So when I was there, I saw I had probably like 80 seconds, I want to say, to Victoria and Kate. And then I just said, I think that's like 15 miles into the course around that point.
Yeah.
And so I just said, like, okay, let's just ride as hard as I can for the last 9 miles to see how much more time I
So at what point did you not ride as hard? 'Cause at one point, the first you were go riding as hard as you can, and then you passed and went as hard as you can, and now we're still.
I just rode as hard as I can.
Okay. It was a continuation of the same process. I like it. But there was like resurgences of like, oh man, now I gotta ride as hard as I can.
Now I got a couple more pro guys. And then I basically came into transition with Steve Rosninski, RTSX, which was cool because we were both wearing the same kits.
Man, Steve, you better work on that bike power, Steve. Get it up
He does
there.
have the dad strength, so it's weird.
Yeah, I'm sure on the run he's savage.
But he did fly by me on the run. So
Okay, thank you.
yeah. So I came into transition. Mark, for the first time ever, I sat down in T2 and I put my socks and my shoes on.
It's kind of the move. How was your? Did you look at your transition 2 time?
Yeah, it was okay. But I just my like sock got stuck on my toe and I was like, stuck on the toe.
Did you pre-roll it?
I did. Yeah, I pre-rolled it. I don't know.
Tough day.
But it's
Yeah.
nice sitting.
Yeah, it is really nice sitting, and I feel like my heart rate comes down like for a hot second.
It looks like a lot of people opted for no socks in this race.
Yeah, it sounds like a terrible idea.
Some regrets. If I could show you the bottom of my feet, I would.
No regrets.
I sat, but I didn't put socks on because I was it's just an Olympic, you know. I need those seconds to
That's
Jason
true.
West.
You actually do need sock seconds counting Olympics.
Socks on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I opted for no socks. Got on the run and had no idea how much time I had to anyone else.
But how good did it feel, first off, to be like, have everyone flipping out? Oh, it's first female.
Well, I know that was awesome, but also I don't know how I know so many people there. So many people knew me, but I heard my name so much. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, I feel like I'm famous right now. Also, really cool side note, 2 people came up and asked for my photos at the expo in front of my parents. And I'm like, Mom and Dad, see, I'm famous. Look, if people want my photos.
Wow.
That's kind of, you gave it away there, right there, though.
Yeah.
When you said that, you
should
should be like,
played it off.
dang, that's like 100th today.
Yeah, gosh.
Yeah, the people won't stop.
Next thing they're gonna ask me to sign the magazine.
I know. You're like, sign their child's forehead.
So how did you feel going over the Snow Owl Bridge, down through Coffee Pot on the run course, which is like the main road? How did all that feel?
Yeah, it felt good, and honestly, my body felt like quite good. I felt bouncy. I opted to never look at my watch. Like, I really didn't want to know what pace I'm running, because if it said like 7-minute miles, that was not going to be good. So I didn't look at my pace. I never looked at a mile split, and I really thought I was going to be passed by the time we got to the turnaround. But I checked my watch real quick at the turnaround, 5K. There's Steve.
Steve.
What up, Steve?
He's on a meeting too.
Oh.
He's holding
Nice.
the
Look at that check.
Let's go.
Mark,
Let's
did you-
go. Yeah, I kept mine, of course. It's just gonna make its way into the vehicle and sit there until a couple years down the road when I can get a place.
Mark's like Happy Gilmore. Like, I'll have all the checks in the back seat.
Can we make that? I have 2 checks with me already. And I think dang it. Man, I hope I didn't throw it away. I have 2 checks, and at one point I had Jackson's too because he didn't want to keep it.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, we're gonna recreate that. That's gonna be epic.
That's fair.
All right, sorry. Go ahead, Lisa.
Well,
I want actually, Lisa, when we passed,
oh, this is funny.
what was your mindset? Because we talked about this at the finish. What were you thinking when you saw me? And I'll tell you what I was thinking.
Oh, because you went back and Mark was coming back
Yeah.
and Lisa was going out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when I saw Mark, well, he like cheered for me and I was like not in a place to yell. I'm just trying to fucking keep it together for 6 miles. And I saw Mark and I was like, holy shit, he has like a huge lead. I was like, he's not gonna get caught. And the only person that I thought could really like catch you was Jason, and he was really far back. And I said, I was like, Mark's gonna win. That's so cool. And I'm like, and I'm winning right now too, but like I probably won't win, but I'm winning right now. So like that's cool.
And it was awesome. And I passed her. I'm like, holy shit, Lisa's in the lead. And then I'm like running and like we're on sort of a bend, and then I see it must have been Victoria.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, they're kind of close. I hope you can hang on.
Was it like 7 seconds by the end of it or something like that? Or
11 seconds to
like
Victoria.
pretty much right. You're in the straightaway to the finish together.
and she's probably looking at you like, I'm coming.
Yeah, and you know how long that straightaway is. That last straightaway is miserable.
Forever. I was like, when's it coming? When's it coming? And I had a gator coming by, like behind me, like at some point, and I was like, well, if the gator's behind me, that means like no one can be that close, because I didn't allow myself to look behind me at all, like on the
Dang,
back
that's
until
impressive.
I got to mile 6, like the mile 6 marker. Then I was like, I can do anything for 400 meters. Like if someone comes up, like I can pull something out of my ass and like run as hard as I can. Like I can do anything.
That's such a good mindset. For me, the gator, I mean, I wouldn't assume there's no one there. I would assume, oh, maybe that's someone filming Victoria passing me or passing. But no, that's funny. So no shoulder checks at all. You just stone cold.
T.O. used to yell at me all the time because he would see me shoulder check sometimes coming. He'd be like, never look for your shoulder, Nick. I'm like, sorry, T.O.
Yeah, or you can't help it. It's hard to know because at the turnaround, I had 40 seconds to Victoria. And at that, I saw that I looked at, my watch was like 19:30 at the turnaround. Everyone ran really fast yesterday. And the course clocked about 10K. I had like 6.18. So, but everyone seemed to have negative split. I don't know if it was the wind direction or something or what it was, but
it's that last stretch, everyone sends it in that last bit and they pick up some of that time.
Okay. Because
I think it was a mix of the wind, and then I think there was just some really good racing going on. Like in the men's race, I don't know the women's race, how it played out at the end, like those 4 through 8 spots. But I know for the men, it was super tight, 2, 3, 4 or something. And then again, 5, like they're all just fighting it out. So they kind of had to close hard.
Yeah. Nick was right behind Chase.
Yeah. Right behind Chase. And then Matt Sharp was there. And then Jason trying to hawk them all down. They probably all saw Jason. And then they're like, we have to negative split this.
He's about to run like 27-minute 10K.
Yeah, the Terminator was coming.
Yeah. Geez.
So Lisa, before we move to Mark, tell us about that finish line. What did it mean? How did it feel? Obviously, the pictures I've seen tell a big story, but what did you feel?
Yeah, I didn't let myself think that I won until I looked over my shoulder at mile 6, and I was like, holy shit, I think I'm gonna win unless I like trip or like cramp or something. And it was pretty epic because my parents actually flew down to the race too, so they got to see it, and they haven't watched me race for about 3 years. And it was like in my mindset, I was just like, just get to the finish line as fast as you can. And in the last like couple meters, I was like, oh my gosh, I literally just won. And I knew Mark had won, or I was like 95% sure that he had won. And I was like, he's insane. Like what are the chances? Like no one going into that race besides Adam maybe would have said that like Lisa and Mark are going to walk away with like the wins. Like nobody.
I knew it was going to be a battle for sure. I thought for sure Lisa was going to lead off the bike, and I just came down to how big that gap was.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. But it was awesome. I've never won a race before at the pro level. So like it was just an epic finish line, and there's so many people and there's so much excitement. And then it was cool because I got to like talk to the news people.
There's a lot of news people there. I've sent Nick every article.
Yeah. I've got a list of 4 articles that we got talked about, all you guys.
Yeah.
And you're on TV, Lisa. You're on TV.
On TV. I made it.
Giant Man live.
But it was so epic because then like after I finished, like a minute, like 30 seconds later, Mark showed up and I was like, you won and I won and you won. And that the photo that's on Instagram right now, or that Paul Higgins got of us hugging. I was
Yeah,
just like,
That's such a
great.
good one.
It was
Yeah,
good with the
so-
RTS logo there too. No, I ran over from the med tent. I was getting my blisters covered and cleaned, and then I'm like, Lisa Becharas, however you say your name, and
he's like, the carrots.
and I was like, holy shit, she held on. No, it was pretty epic. Like, just obviously, if I don't know, just two RTS teammates, and obviously we train a lot and race a lot together. But yeah, pretty epic day.
Yeah, two people connected by a team is winning is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I'm sure the St. Pete crew loved it too, since I had such roots there. Hopefully, a lot of people reached out.
Yeah, it was awesome. They had the same little after party, after whatever, get together,
Mad
and
Dogs.
through the Mad Dogs. And what's Lisa, what's that old lady who does all the presentations? What's her name? Kathy.
Yeah.
She is awesome. Absolutely zero filter.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, she's like 70. How old do you think she is? 75?
Yeah, probably 75.
Yeah, no filter. She does like she introduced Lisa. She like half introduced me. But it's awesome. Yeah, they bring all the pros up and everything.
They treat the sport really well there.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love this race.
Yeah.
I think
And
that's why
they're like,
Baker
oh,
does it.
he's coming back. Please come back. Come back. We're like, please have the race. Like, please have the race and please keep the prize money, because it's such good prize money for an Olympic distance race. But I mean, Oceanside, you didn't get that much for the win at Oceanside.
It was 7.5. It was less.
That's nasty. Pro Ironman series race.
Yeah, and no homestay and
no love in the community outside of just some randos who might know you.
Exactly, people like triathlon people, and there's people, because we got the Mad Dog swim team, we got the Tri Club, the Run Club, and then all of their friends, because they bring their friends down. I was staying with Brian, and I met 3 of his neighbors. And there goes Lisa.
We lost Lisa.
Mark, talk to you.
Mark, you can tell us about your race.
There we go. She's back.
Oh, Lisa's back.
Where'd you go?
Where did you go?
You bailed on us, man.
Oh, it just like went away and then it just popped up again.
The conversation was getting stale.
Still.
All right. So obviously St. Pete is legit awesome. Mark, it's your turn to.
What's this mean?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing. Okay.
You're good.
I thought we were muted.
No, we're not muted.
I was gonna.
Mark, go ahead. Go through like anything different pre-race.
Yeah.
Anything different that you had to negotiate. How to go?
Well, the shortened swim was a bit frustrating. Like I said earlier, I was really looking forward to a full swim. We had a stacked group of swimmers with Chase McQueen coming across for his first long course, not very long course, but non-draft race. Obviously, Matt Sharp, Greg Harper, Braxton Bocos, Nick Quinet. Like, honestly, there was just a group of 5 or 6 like really good swimmers. So it's going to be that group trying to put as much time between us and Jason West. So 5v1 in the swim pretty much.
Was that like discussed?
Sort of. I definitely discussed it with Greg Harper, with Chase, and Matt, and Braxton.
Guys,
almost everyone.
We gotta get away.
Yeah.
7 seconds.
Yeah, and we ended up only getting 7 seconds because of the shortened swim. But honestly, I wasn't too phased by the shortened swim. I was like, you know what, it is what it is. Tired of people thinking. Actually, I do enjoy people thinking I'm just a swimmer. I actually really like that. They're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Mark," and I'm like, "Yeah, my race is over." No, I was hyped either way. I knew it was going to be shorter than 750 because of how shallow the water is. But yeah, it's just a super chill morning. It's really fun going into the transition zone because they let the pros only bring their bikes in the morning. It was a little bit of an exception this year because of the wind. So they let some people bring bikes, but so funny. Like when you're carrying your bike, you just stand out.
He must be
yeah. But no, it's just fun in the morning. And I feel like the crew we had, like all the racers, there was just a bunch of like Matt Sharp, super chill, Chase, super chill. So it was just fun even in the morning. No one was like overly serious, at least for the people I talked to. I mean, me and Lisa walked down to the start. We even went to the porta potties together, and
we shared one.
The ones by the parking lot?
Yeah, the secret ones by the parking lot.
Yeah,
not so secret, but they're definitely more quiet.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that was the first year I did in 3 years ago. It was a full Olympic.
Yeah.
With a full swim, and I was 8th. Then it was a duathlon. So I was like, oh, we're going up. At least we're touching the water. We're touching the water this time, because last year was a duathlon. And now, we had the short and swim with, it felt like a K run barefoot.
Yeah, it absolutely is about
Mhm.
a mile.
So after giving it, it's been we're going on, I don't even
More than
know.
24 hours.
Yeah, more than 24 hours. And I think the race, honestly, well, it was for both of us, it was one on the bike pretty much, but ours was split entirely on the transition one. We all came out super close together. There was probably 6 or 7 of us. All those names I said about the who were there, like the strong swimmers. Jason was right there, but Chase got out, and the short course mindset. You push transitions. It's absolutely part of the race. So me and Nick were just keying off him, and we were just running really fast, like pretty much flat out.
I saw a video of Chase running two
Yeah,
T1. He
that
was
was
on his toes leaning.
Yep, great perspective. So we were right on him. We all just kept the same gap. And I was like, I know how important transitions are as well. I didn't think it would kind of set up the race how it did. But yeah, the three of us just split away. And I got out of transition first. I just had a good helmet. I don't know, just everything just kind of flowed well. And I was able to jump right into my shoes. Didn't have to put my feet on top, which is really important because of those cobbles. And I didn't tighten them until kind of that first right turn. After you round
The
that
dolly
baseball, yeah, after that, when you slow down enough, and then you can take some time to tighten them. And I saw Chase was there, Nick was catching, and I led all the way until the first look, the first U-turn, and U-turned. And this is when I saw the group. I was like, okay, they're way further back than I thought. I think we maybe had 30 seconds to 45
really
seconds.
big because that's a long grade uphill into the wind.
So I was a bit surprised, and that was definitely a motivator. I was like, all right, we're still not caught. Let's keep pushing. And
And
that's
you were in like second for most of it, right? Like
second
that,
for the bike.
yeah, for that stretch.
When we turned the first round or U-turn, the first look, Chase went by me. He's like, let's work together. And I'm like, yes, of course.
Absolutely.
And it was perfect because that's the headwind section. So then he
Yeah.
passed me, and then I didn't have to do any work. Like I was pushing probably 330 to 350s going up. Feeling legs were good. So I knew I was going to have a good day on the bike because usually my weakness is kind of power right away. So, and that day I had it, yesterday I had it. So it's all right, it's going to be a good day. But he took it all the way until we did the right turn, and then the two right and left turns kind of back to back as you head towards, I guess, head south. Yeah, the golf course. And then I took the lead again, and I didn't kind of give up the lead the rest of the way. I thought I dropped him for a little bit. Nick was dropping back more, but it was me and Chase for a while. He was just kind of sitting on me a bit further back than 12 meters. He's still learning kind of the distance, which is obviously nice of him to be more cautious, but he obviously had to work a bit harder.
Yeah.
Get through the golf course, was still pushing. I was like, all right, if I got a gap, I got to keep pushing. Because obviously I was scared about Jason, but Matt Sharp can run, Chase can definitely run. Like these guys can all run depending on how they get off the bike, how they're feeling. So I just pushed through there, but I knew my plan going in was to attack at the long straightaway, Pinellas Point. Regardless of where I was in the race, big group or not, I was going to try to attack there because I knew I needed a gap. If I wanted to win this race, I couldn't come into T1 or T2 with Jason. So then I attacked with the tailwind section if Jason was there, or sorry, if Chase was there.
Where was Jason on that Pinellas out and back?
He was with the big group. I don't even know if he had ever touched the front. I'm not sure. He was in like second or third wheel. There was like 4 of them there, but it had splintered, so they weren't riding easy. Because when we saw him at the beginning of the ride, there was a big chain of like 6, 7 of them, and then they must have splintered coming through the golf course maybe. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I had a gap on him with the tailwind, because then when you come into the headwind, if he's further back, he's not getting any benefit. And I just hammered it, and for that 4 or 5 minutes, I was 365.
Dang, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be ready for Jackson when he does that to me. So,
Yes, you go hang on him.
yeah, and it was a good headwind because I did the same thing last year, dropping Marty, because I knew last year I didn't want to run against Marty. The other 3 had been up the road, and I was all right, this is gonna work again, hopefully, and it did. And I didn't know the gaps at all. Like you don't get to see them often. I didn't know if they were going to attack there or what was going to happen to that group behind me. So I just kept hammering it all the way home. I was like, I need this gap. I need this gap. Like, this is the race. Legs are feeling good. So just keep pushing, get the nutrition in,
Well, that course is good too, because like even though you did that long effort, there are forced recovery points on slow turns.
Yes, exactly.
You have to rest, recover, power again, take a hard right,
Yep.
power again. So the course lends itself to like getting a gap and holding it.
It does, yeah, especially with the like the out of sight, out of minds.
Yeah, you can get around a corner and nobody sees you
Yeah.
and nobody's chasing you.
Right.
Like,
And the last bit, you come off Pinellas Point, you have like a sweeping left, and it's kind of a long-ish straightaway, but with a roundabout, you got a left turn, whatever. So there's still some turns. It's crosswind at this section, but yeah, I think what also helped my legs, at least on the run, because I felt good on the run too, is just I didn't have to surge at all. I wasn't in no group at any point, which is really helpful for preserving the legs. You're not doing those micro surges to keep the gap.
Like an Oceanside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got off the bike, didn't hear the gap. Like no one was really giving splits.
and they probably didn't even know splits. They're like, wait, we don't know where anyone is.
Yeah.
Like, here comes your winner. Your leader.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what I was queuing off of. I was like, all right, they were really loud for me. It was awesome, got me hyped. I'm sitting down, didn't put socks on, so I sent it. Kind of went the wrong way because they weren't ready for me leaving T2.
You went left, didn't you?
Yeah, but I should have known that because I've done this so many times. So I only went out of the way like 2 steps. But I was queuing off the announcer for like announcing the next group, and I never heard him. So I was like, okay, I must have gotten a decent gap.
Hadn't been a minute.
Yeah, I think it ended up being 40 seconds.
Wow.
But honestly, it was good too. I think Lisa, you kind of were saying this. It almost was like, don't get complacent, just push. And that was my mindset, was get out kind of hard. Obviously not like full all out because it is a 10K, so it's long enough. But I was like, get hard, get out. Don't let them see you on that straightaway at all. Like, don't give them a carrot to chase. So I was like, at 3 miles, turned around, that's where you get the first gap. And I knew I was good from there, but it kind of has set up my race mindset that like, yeah, don't ever relax. And I didn't, because I wanted the run preem as well. Ends up not being that close because of Jason. He still ran 30 or 250, 29:59.
29:59.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, everyone, actually all the top people were on Strava, which is kind of cool. So you can look at the bike splits. I'm a big fan of No Secrets.
No secrets.
Yeah.
Dude, put the data up. Put the data up.
I don't get why they're secrets anyways. Like what does it matter? Unless you're never mind. Anyways.
Wait, how did it feel to cross the line and hold the tape up?
Yeah, so
iconic scene.
Yes, again, the crowds were amazing, and I was just soaking it in. I saw a lot of people that were saying my name on that last long home stretch. I saw Beth. I tried giving her a high five. She said, like,
she's slow.
She did put her hand out. I was like, oh. She's like, you get your way, but I like swung pretty wide to like see her because she's in a really good spot for high five.
Yeah.
No, I was just enjoying it, and yeah, I was like, damn, I just made $10,000. I need that. I needed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was the whole time, the last 3 miles, I was like, I do need this. And to be motivated by money, I know is kind of lame, but it makes a huge difference to me. And obviously I'm competitive and I want to just win no matter what. But yeah, it's a huge paycheck, and yeah, it's just a great race, and excited to have another win under the belt. So Alcatraz was kind of the start. Salinas this, and hopefully some more 70.3s now.
Got to get those St. George type races.
Yes,
the champion.
Exactly, the championships. And yeah, obviously surprised with the fastest bike split. I think the felt definitely had something to do with that, and I think we had a lot more to find for as far as, I don't want to say free speed, but kind of free speed.
Yeah, everything.
Speed you can buy without time. It's not time equity. It's you can go to the wind tunnel and
which Marc's going to the wind tunnel.
Yes.
To go test it all out.
Yeah, in a week and a half. That's kind of crazy, actually, to think about. It's a week and a half.
Tell us what you learned. Give us all the ins and outs. Tell us what we need to put where. Okay.
Yeah, I know, but that's the hard part about it. It's like your frame is going to act so much different with bottles on it than my frame.
Yeah.
But I will try to I'll pick his brain about the general standards.
Yeah.
And I know they have a lot of that because I got connected through a friend who works at the wind tunnel, and there are definitely some like stands. Like 1x is, I guess, on standard on a flat course, like 1 to 2 watts faster, I think. Obviously wax chain faster, clean bike obviously faster.
But basically what you're going to be testing is bars up, down, the gap. Because I think when you look at like a Ditlev, he is not slammed like a Costas. Costas, you can't even see his eyes. But Ditlev is literally like pretty much full locked arm extension, not even a flat back completely, very comfortable. And I think that's what I've heard most about wind tunnel experiences is that you get there, you dial in this epic position, it's really fast, but it's not really attainable for a full distance or even some of the harder, longer distances.
That's why I'm really excited to go to this wind tunnel because I mean it's definitely the top wind tunnel in the world.
Yeah,
they have a bunch of different companies come in, bunch of different people.
Formula
They're doing
One.
they're doing Formula One, and then they're doing the top world tour teams. But they know they get triathletes too. And I'm talking to the guy who's going to be doing the tests, and he's setting up a whole procedure to like obviously focus on triathlon and running off the bike, which is really cool. He's like, we don't want to like put you in like a TT rider. We want you to be a triathlon. Like you got to run off it. And then we're also going to set up a procedure that we're really time efficient. Because once that wind tunnel starts, money. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's when you're doing mechanic work, which is on me to do. You're wasting time that you could be riding in the tunnel.
Yeah.
So it's nice as they set that up for you. So we're probably going to start with position, and then at the end we'll do all the helmets.
Yeah.
But what's nice is and this will save me a lot of stuff, is like Zoot. Obviously, I probably won't be testing suits. Wheels, we got Envy on board. There's a few things that I don't need to test, so I'm going to be able to really test positions.
Just position
and bottles, hands, helmets. There's so many helmets out there, so obviously we won't get to them all. But I think they have it so dialed. Like I have pretty poor mobility in my shoulders. Hopefully get better at that. But I think they have an idea of when they see that type of position or body.
Yeah, they're like, we need to make you walk.
Yeah, I think so. And I was telling him kind of what I've noticed in riding and stuff. So I'm excited, but we'll have another podcast about it. We're gonna do a YouTube video. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Well, you know the thing they don't tell you can't do yet is put anything down your back.
Yeah, no, at Ironman they did.
Oh, they said nothing on the back.
No, they said, well, no, someone asked, oh yeah, you were at the meeting. They said, well, what do we do with our bottle if we can't put it down our chest? You know, can we put it down our back? And someone said yes. So.
Well, I mean, that's what MotoGP riders put is a big half dome right there because it smooths it out.
I know Joe Skipper used to put a little sponge.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't even have to put it in there. You'd swim with it. The wetsuit would compress it enough. It wouldn't be annoying. At least I think so. And then his helmet sat kind of perfectly with it. He tested where the placement was.
And if it was a hot race, it would actually come an advantage if you can like just like at
I was thinking that too. Yeah.
Squirt on the sponge and it stays like wet for longer. Yeah.
So big tangent. The bottom line is one of the longest standing Olympic distance races. Like you two both are now part of the history of winners. You know, I've watched that race personally happen and seen all kinds of winners and been part of that race for years. And having skipped the last few years, but lived there for so long, I so awesome that you guys were able to have that experience. I love that race.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite race. You know,
you don't feel that energy in any other race.
No, and it's very still like grassroots, and they have the meek and mighty before it, so you get families out, you get kids out there. Yeah, it's absolutely one of my favorite races, and I think I said it like a dozen times. Like, we love Olympic distance triathlons.
Bring it
to Caroline. Keep doing this race. Like, you guys have something special, and they really have it dialed. I mean, Carolyn took me to the airport, and the first thing she said to me was like, "Hey, what can we do better?" And I'm like, I know this probably isn't the answer you want, but I'm like, you guys have this absolutely dialed.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like this homestay program, you got people coming in who want to host.
I've been like, well, have meals already made for me. That'd be great.
Yeah.
a masseuse when we check in and when we get there after the race.
Right. It's just like they're doing so many, like every little detail is thought about. I mean, of course, the swim shortened. There's a lot of things, but of course, that's safety, and that's not on Carolyn. She's not part of that. But
well, I can tell you too. At St. George, we still have a homestay program for most pros who come here that our local tri club manages. And as I was on my way to the pool, one of my great friends and supporters here was like, "All right, I'm gonna make you guys some meals on Wednesday, Thursday. So you got baked lasagna, some chicken and rice. I'm gonna have it ready for you guys." Like, people are so gosh damn awesome.
I love it. Yeah, I think here and St. St. Pete have the best homestay program.
Yeah,
honestly.
Boulder doesn't care.
Boulder's like, everyone's a triathlete here.
Yeah.
We're all whatever. That's why
Do
I'm in
something
Fort Collins,
special.
okay? Nothing special. But guys, I think like having not raced for like I mean, I obviously did Oceanside, but not raced a ton last year. Like the racing is so fun. Like at the end of the day, like, yeah, it really fucking hurts, but like it's so much fun. That's every time I race, that's what I like. At least in the recent races, I'm like, this is so fun to get to like a mentality where you can like enjoy it. I don't know.
Yeah. Which sucks when people like have a bad day and have to pull off, or they have a DNF due to a mechanical or something that is like outside the reference point. But if you can mentally push through and persevere, I think like it doesn't matter if you finish in the mid pack or whatever. Like if you can at least push yourself beyond some sticking points, you're gonna feel awesome, and that's the best part about this sport.
I think so too. Yeah.
Or any endurance event.
Yeah. Wait, real quick, it's just you two and Jackson, right?
At St. George, yeah.
Yeah, at St. George. When's Jackson get in?
I think I was just talking with him on.
That was Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. It looks like late though, and of course, in true Jackson fashion, he's like, "Oh yeah,
Can you pick me up from the bus?"
Well, he wants to get. He's like going to rent a car, I think, last minute and not take the shuttle, which is recommended. But he's like, got to get his wheels and tires put on, of course.
Classic.
He's always got some.
Why can't he do that at home right now?
I don't know, but he's got some bike thing every time we travel to a race. Like it's never, but he always like it takes his mind off of the race, and he doesn't focus on his competition or who's there. He just focuses on some shit that he's got to fix. And then he just doesn't care about the race because he's like, well, at least I got here. And
I mean, that's a busy day. He gets in Wednesday night. Sorry, busy few days. Thursday is his day to do that because Friday.
And we got photo shoots for him and Bicel on Thursday.
Yeah, and the press conference on Friday, bike drop on Friday, shoe drop on Friday.
Everything on
Friday takes forever to run around.
So he's just gonna probably drop his bike off Thursday and go get it, and then bring it straight to the. That would suck.
He's gonna have to ride late at night, probably Thursday night.
Thursday night, yeah.
But yeah, Friday is basically you leave at like 10 a.m. or whatever. You get to the pro brief or even the press conference, which you guys will be at. And then we don't get back home until like 3 or 4 p.m.
Yeah.
It's a long day.
It is a long day. I do have a question for you, Lisa. What are you going to buy first with your 10 grand?
I was going to say something like that.
Or have you bought some already?
Do you already spend it?
Oh, no, I haven't spent it yet because we don't actually like have it.
Well,
I just looked at my bank account. I just looked at my bank account right now, and I was like, "Well, I got to pay 2 credit card bills. I should pay them right now."
Probably smart to look at. Oh, were you saying don't look at that?
I was gonna say, don't forget you got to take tax deductions.
Yeah.
No, it's a write-off. Come on.
Yeah, I love it.
It doesn't mean it's
my
free.
favorite thing to say. It's a write-off.
But I think what I am gonna invest in the rest of the year is when I'm buying flights. I'm gonna spend the extra like $40 to $50 to fly at 12 p.m. instead of like 5 a.m. So you just get like a better night of sleep, or like you can get a training session in before you fly, stuff like that. So I think that's what I'm gonna invest in, and buy a ticket to New Zealand. So that's like,
oh, that's huge.
So that's half of it.
Like that money's gonna be reinvested into travel is the plan.
I think I've done tons of end of year stuff, and usually travel expenses are about like $28,000 to $46,000. They're so expensive.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, it's a write-off.
It is.
You don't get taxed if you don't make an income.
This is true. And they give you like free insurance.
Even when I was in the Air Force, like somehow I would barely end up owing anything, and I would, have a standard job. Like
so many expenses.
I would never write anything off in the Air Force, but like I just never had to pay a whole lot. I guess
there must be good benefits.
I've got friends who were like, "Man, I paid like $250,000 and
Jesus."
But I'm like, "How much did you make?"
Yeah.
18 million.
Oh yeah, 250K. Yeah.
Casual 18 mil. I did. So that we got a new gas station off of I-25. So on the way from the airport back to Fort Collins, it's called Buc-ee's. I think it's like a chain.
Oh, it is a chain.
It's freaking huge.
It's a Texas thing.
Yeah, it's massive. Like you walk in and it's like as big as like a supermarket, and they have like baked everything.
There's everything bad about American capitalism.
Exactly. It's in Bucky's, but on that sign outside, it was like they're hiring. So it had like the prices for what people are getting. And like you can be like a general manager or something of like a Bucky's and make like 200K. So then I was
No
rethinking
way.
my life. Yes, I was rethinking my life choices. And I'm like, I should go be the GM at Bucky's. Triathlon doesn't work out.
General manager, or just like a normal manager.
Like the general, like it's like they had a couple like levels. There were like 4 or 5 positions and they all make at least 6 figures.
What?
So yeah.
Bucky's is
Nice.
lit. Sounds
I
like.
guess we just need.
We need a Bucky's.
Yeah.
sponsorship.
I haven't thought about what I will buy. I probably won't buy anything, honestly, because yeah, again, like you said, expenses.
Yeah.
Invest some of it, but
Yeah, buy some Bitcoin once it drops out again.
that'd be nice. Right now I'm in a high performance savings plan
Ooh,
with Capital One. it's
earning that
called.
8%.
It's no, it's not.
8%?
That'd be insane. That's the stock market.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever. No, it's
5.
4%, but it's completely liquid.
Yeah,
So
so no taxes on
yeah,
pulling it.
I don't think so. But
So cool episode we're going to be bringing up also is a finance. Like I got somebody who reached out to me in the finance world was like, I think let's do a finance podcast. And also I have a tax guy who is like kind of a sponsor, and they have just kind of acquired a large, more sports ventured tax group. And so we're going to be talking a lot of triathlete taxes and also how to invest on some of these podcasts for athletes and stuff. So more fun caveats there.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Love it.
What I want to get into is a sponsor asking me to be an owner. They pay me an ownership.
That's Jan.
That's a few,
Yeah, I was gonna
few
say like
years
y'all
down the
in
road, I
Magic
think.
5.
That's Jan Frodeno. Like Jan
Fueling?
Frodeno.
Did he just do that with fueling, you think?
He's not doing that for free at Fuel.
You think his ownership, part
Oh,
ownership?
guaranteed they've given him.
And then he's
stock.
got his hotel, his coffee shop,
He has stock in Canyon.
Magic 5, Canyon, Mercedes. What are the chances he has ownership in Mercedes?
Not likely.
But he gets a few Mercedes.
Yeah, probably.
Couple Mercedes to
I
drive
don't know,
around.
man. It's best not to look at what others have because then you'll forget to be proud of what
That's
you do have.
absolute great
Yes.
by
Yeah.
Mr. Nick Chase. They said you should go run for mayor down in St. Pete.
Oh,
And I told him, you're already mayor of St. George.
You can't,
Mayor
can't
of
do
St.
that.
He's on the wall. He's on the wall next to the finish line here in St. George.
yeah.
Yeah, so if you see it, go get a selfie with it and tag Nick on Instagram.
Yeah, and it's good luck. You'll go 5 minutes faster, guaranteed.
We should do a giveaway. The best selfie with Race Chad gets a feed hat. No, I'm just joking. It's a RTS swim cap because I have 60 of them in
You
my
get a
car.
swim cap, you get a regular cap, and you get a bucket cap.
And then who ranks the best selfie? Like just the most creative?
I don't know. I think it has to go to a vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do a vote. We'll do an Instagram vote.
All right. Well, I guess we'll have to do some more work and do something else now.
We can always cut this. You got it.
Don't worry. I'll just do it.
You have plenty of time. Plenty of time. And
Speaking of
extra time.
This has been great. Lisa, huge congrats. What are you doing next before we let you go?
A little TBD. I'm gonna see how the body's feeling. I'm signed up for Chattanooga, but right now I think that might be off the table. But gonna make a call in a couple days.
Isn't that
but
May 19th?
Yeah.
That's
I'm fine.
that is 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm signed up for it. I just don't. I'm gonna see how my body feels.
Let's go to Mont Tremblant.
I'm signed up for that, but I don't know. I'm going to Europe. Well, I go to Tucson, Arizona, and then from Tucson go right to Europe for a week because I'm gonna go guide a visually impaired triathlete at.
I set you up with that.
I know. Tommy's like, I reached out to Nick for your contact information.
Nice.
You're actually a perfect guide because the bike leg is very important
Yeah.
in these races, and obviously you're fun and loud. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Or I'm just like, I gotta remember to be like, all right, turning right, or like we have a curb, we have to.
They may try to get you to do Paris.
I know. Well, I don't know how it works because I don't know if like guides like flip flop between athletes and whatnot.
If
but
you're a really good guide and you're taking the athlete to their best performance, then they'll probably give you the first slot.
yeah,
So if
Well,
you do a great job, you could go to Paris.
that would be cool. But right now, our goal is to get this athlete Taylor to try to make the national team. She's been doing triathlon for like 6 months or something and has come like
wow.
really far.
Not long.
She was a Paralympian in track and field in Tokyo.
Nice.
So but she was a sprinter. She did like the 100, 400, 200 type of stuff. So
That's
Yeah.
great. Good job, Lisa.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
awesome.
I love that you're getting involved with that.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. And since I'm my perspective too is I'm trying to race till December, and I think so many people are going to over race this year.
Yeah.
And like that's a long time to race, and I know what I'm capable of. And that's I have to pace myself, otherwise I'll be a porcelain doll.
I was telling the same thing to Leslie, who we talked about her Ironman in Texas, and I was like, the Pro Series is happening, and the rankings are going to switch around a ton.
Yeah.
And everybody has set their schedules and talked about it, and T100 schedules and talked about it. And now they have to actually show up, do all the travel, go through all the life stress, injuries, illness, all the things that happen in life. So shit is going to be very different than I think anybody had planned for. And especially once you get to that September, October race series, and you're like, I am so tired of racing and traveling. Because that happens to all of us at least a couple times a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a lot to see what happens.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely better to be 100% healthy than
Over race
and get injured. Now what,
Yeah. So I'm
I'm gonna do a
training.
race a month.
There we go.
Well, I'm excited to cheer you guys and say, George, let's freaking go.
Yep.
Let's go, baby.
It's gonna be the
Yeah.
Mark and Jackson and Nick show.
Yes.
I'll
that's
be
what-
there somewhere.
It's gonna be awesome. You guys are gonna do great. Super stoked. Thanks for all the support, everyone. We appreciate it. Thanks for listening to the podcast, and become a Patreon member because we're gonna give you some free stuff if you do.
Lisa's in charge of that, so she's actually gonna make it happen.
Yes.
And give us a follow on Instagram because you're fully in charge of that too, or
Yeah.
was I not supposed to say that?
Yeah. Follow, like, subscribe.
If you see an increase in dance videos on our Instagram channel, it's because of Lisa.
Yes. So Mark and Nick are gonna start dancing a lot.
I've gotten a dozen texts in the past day about dancing, and I'm just tired of it.
All right. TBD on the dancing, and thanks for listening, and see you guys.
Peace
Bye.
out.
Peace out.
Peace out.